Welcome back, everyone, to the Dead Ascend Our Bloodlords campaign. I hope you're doing well. In our last session, we were introduced to our group of adventurers, Azrael, Draig, Philip, and Requiem, four individuals from various walks of both life and unlife, hired by the Bloodlord Berlin Heldoli out of Greydirge to go and explore one of the nearby farms, Old Ergagh's farm, to be precise. Shipments from the farm have not been received for the last few weeks, a problem that does not occur and instantly let Berlin know that something was wrong. Hoping to build connections and give people the opportunity to further improve themselves and sort of up their position in life. Berlin invited the four of you to a lovely dinner before handing you this mission and having you go the following morning to explore, figure out what happened, and reconstruct the farm to the best of your abilities before coming back with news. Her promised reward for this being a full manor, it seems, that she at least does not want anything to do with, and would love to give to you all.
Mm.
You guys made the roughly 16 or so mile journey southwest of the city, passing through low hills and relatively open terrain before making your way to Ergagh's farm, specifically finding the red brick walled compound mostly closed, with a few uncontrolled zombies trying to sort of grab at you as you approach the front gate, easily dispatching them, and finding the large, seemingly undead cow, Moskuta, that Berlin had warned you about, roaming around free. Deciding a frontal entrance with Moskuta right there might not be the smartest move, you all decided to check for another entrance, finding one to the west, which had appeared to be trapped, perhaps, having swung shut and crushed the body of some individual attempting to enter the compound, it seems. A red cloak caked with blood at this point, clutching a satchel to their chest that you found both a vial filled with sort of magenta liquid, as well as a few packets of this sort of strange gray paste, all but one of which had entirely burst. Took a moment to get an idea, see if you could maybe reset this trap, maybe even rig it up with a wedge or something, such that if you could draw Moskuta towards it, you could control when the trap was sprung. That is where we pick our session back up for today. Everyone has their hero points ready to go. What would you all like to do?
Um, do we think there's any way to reason with these dogs and horse, or will they have to be like neutralized?
Uh, Go ahead and give me a recall knowledge roll.
I don't know, do you have undead empathy yet, Jacob?
Yeah.
We are starting off strong.
Woo.
I mean, you could certainly try. You have quite a bit of experience when it comes to zombie farms, but from what you're aware of, at the very least, when it comes to reanimation, a lot of times animals will not be brought back as sentient creatures. So you might be able to try and control them, but actually reasoning with them or speaking with them probably won't be possible.
Controlling would also be acceptable if anyone has the ability to do so.
Don't believe so.
What would be acceptable?
If anyone could control them, make them stand aside.
I've got a gun.
That's a kind of control.
Neutralize it is. Should we try to lead them away from the beast, and so it's not? Oh, I guess they're already not that close to it. Just don't want it interrupting us. Where do we want to fight them? Out in the open, a nice clear thing here.
Yeah, that area right there is sort of right in the opening of 4 large grain silos, most likely, each of them about 20 feet in diameter. Pretty sturdy wooden construction, it looks like, from what you can see of them.
They are annoyingly out of range.
Pity.
For now.
Always try and sneak closer, too.
I think that favors us. We have spells. That one has a gun. They have claws and teeth.
We also have a gate.
I will say I'm hesitant to use my gun, just because I don't know how the boar is going to react.
I used it before and it didn't attract its attention. You're a lot closer then.
You said they were eating the zombies?
The animals?
Yeah.
From what you can see of them, you don't have a great visual on them, but from what you can see, they do appear to be eating something. Give me a perception check, actually.
Anybody that's looking can do the check. Yeah.
Absolutely. Anyone who wants to make this perception check, absolutely.
How do minions work in this system?
Minions do not act on their own. You use 1 action on your turn to command them, and that gives them 2 actions. Outside of specific situations, a minion can only ever have a maximum of 2 actions per turn. Okay, let's see. All of you have pretty good sight on things. Taking a look, they definitely, from what you can see, they are feasting on corpses that have been utterly ripped to shreds at this point. Requiem in particular, you do catch a few small scraps in your line of sight that look like red cloth, very similar to the cloak that the individual crushed by the gate was wearing. I'll also say it's not difficult for most of you to notice that one of the silos in front of you appears to be open, a bunch of grain having spilled out onto the ground, and a few other corpses currently untouched next to it.
Do we think they would even bother attacking us if they have such available non-fighting back food? Or are they likely to just be aggressive and hostile towards anything approaching them?
We could find out.
They're probably not smart enough to recognize the difference between survivability.
Could always release a zombie. Find out.
Could. I can do this. I can do this once a day. If we want to find out.
I mean, you could walk forward and just see what happens.
Will be my guest.
Well, looking at it, you should be able to walk forward such that they can see you, but you're out of line of sight of the pen.
I can also probably just line up a shot and just quickly blast 2.
About 125 feet.
Yeah, they're in range.
Probably.
My range is 150.
Well, it's just someone was measuring.
We did a recall knowledge earlier. Are these zombie animals?
They are. Yeah, you
So
can
they
see. I'll give you guys some close-up pictures of them. Mostly look alive, but definitely patches of fur and flesh that have been kind of torn away, and there's no need to really patch them up. per
Old
se.
Is it-
Yeller's looking real
Is it
rough.
all zombie creatures that are slow to one, or is it only humanoid zombies that have
All
that?
zombies. That is a trait of being a zombie.
Okay.
In fact, had any of you chosen to play a zombie character, you would be permanently slowed one as well.
Ugh.
That is the downside of being a zombie, is permanently slowed one.
Okay, Philip, don't die to these.
So I
Doing my
can
fucking best.
outrun a zombie horse if it's only the speed of like a normal horse. So I could approach them and see if they try to kill me, and then run away and have you cover me. I don't like this plan, but
Give me 5 seconds to ladle some curry, and then I'm there. Philip says that in game.
Philip's got a whole little campfire cookout set up while everyone's discussing what to do. So, like, ladling up a late breakfast for everyone.
we've been at the gate for
I
so
got
long.
some curry,
Actually, it's
got
approaching
some-
lunchtime,
I got
realistically.
some geb noodles.
Yeah,
I eat mine raw. I boil everyone else's.
I had my lunch at the front gate, off the fingers of the zombies.
You and your finger bones.
They're delicious!
To be fair, Jericho, have you ever tried finger bones? Do you know whether or not they're delicious if you haven't tried them?
I'm going to deny to answer that. Decline, that's the word I want.
Azrael is values his own life, so I'm gonna cast Summon Undead and use it to scout.
Okay. What would you like to summon?
That's a great
Skeleton,
question.
zombie hound, just like those, a zombie shambler. Those are the three most common ones. To
Could just
summon.
reanimate this corpse right here.
I'll do a Shambler because I want to know how they react to a humanoid presence.
Bada bing, bada boom.
And I'll have him just kind of walk past them.
Sure. Let me make sure you have control.
Jacob
over
just
these.
reanimates the poor bastard that got squished.
Just want to
Yeah.
make everyone owner of the
That's fair.
undead, so you guys can feel free to move them yourselves.
So I'm not gonna walk like through them, but I'll go like around.
Can you move them
this
up
way.
to their movement speed at a time?
I would love to. Does a speed somewhere on the sheet.
Welcome to NPC sheets. On the left side, way at the bottom.
Oh, I just
Scroll down that
scroll
little
to the
scroll,
side.
yeah.
Okay, let me expand the page. There we go.
A zombie shambler's movement speed is 25.
25. I command it moves twice.
Mhm.
So we
But
have
up to
20
50 feet.
25
Okay.
and 25. Did it just grow when I moved it? Any reaction from the animals?
None whatsoever.
Okay.
Now, I do not believe the shambler is able to communicate with you some of the other things it might notice as it traverses forward.
I don't think I have share sense.
Do not at this point in time. And it
But,
wouldn't really be able to talk with you either upon returning, I don't think.
Knows it's
Yeah,
a
no
mindless.
languages. Unfortunate.
So I'll have it go
He's only moved one
It-
action here.
one
Just
action.
25 to start, yeah. Okay, approaching the corpses sort of around the spilled grain. This is where I'm going to ask everyone to roll initiative for me, please. As the dogs and horses, as the zombie kind of shambles around the grain, all look up relatively in unison. The dogs begin growling as they look towards it, and the horse lets out a loud braying sound, much as it can with its tongue almost chained to its lower jaw. And it definitely looks like they're going to rush it.
Perception for initiative?
Correct.
I'm glad I'm not the one over there.
Same.
Azrael, what type of caster are you? Remind me. What tradition?
Divine.
Divine. I would, in a situation like this where you're controlling an undead to scout and initiative is rolled, I would allow you to use religion there as your initiative, since you're focused on controlling the undead. Just for
That will
future
be more
reference.
relevant later when it's a different modifier, but I'll keep that in mind.
Requiem, would you please roll initiative
That's
for me?
cool.
Don't roll initiative, Requiem. Fuck the man.
That's so rude. Why do you hate me?
Why do you hate me, Jericho?
Many reasons.
Come on,
Would
just-
you like
you're
me to
just
Is it
gonna
because
do-
I'm always? Is it because I'm constantly late to sessions and never give you advanced warning?
You're just gonna fuck the man. You're not even gonna like take him to dinner first. Come on.
Pour him a nice glass of wine?
I didn't say anything.
No, I said it, so you didn't have to.
Azrael, you are the first to react as the zombies begin to seemingly draw their attention towards the shambler you've summoned. What would you like to
50
do?
feet. 55. I think it's going. Minions don't have reactions, do they?
They do not.
So it cannot take the ready action.
Correct.
That's
Try moving away from the grain.
delay initiative 22.
Sounds good. That will start us off with the horse then. The horse.
So
I have to remind myself what it is going to do. It's going to use its 2 actions to come rushing over towards your zombie. And that'll bring us to your turn.
action command bite.
Okay.
Actually, action command grab.
Grab You may attempt to grapple normally. A NPC's grab action is specifically used when their last action was a successful strike, with the
Oh, it has-
grab
okay.
that in its damage entry.
Well, then it'll trade up punch and then use grab.
Sounds good.
It can always use the jaw strike, right?
No, it can only bite
No.
when it has a creature grabbed or restrained. That is the requirements for it to make a Jaws attack.
Then it will strike with a punch.
Sounds good.
We're learning things.
It's
Yeah.
clobbering time.
It's clobbering time.
A
Wow.
14 will hit the horse.
It is clobbering time.
It's a zombie. It's got no health. 5 points of damage to it. All right.
Action grab.
Go for it. Make that grapple attempt. If you're targeting...
It's used
and
after a
selecting
strike,
zombie,
it attempts to grapple the creature using the body. Okay.
No map applied here.
Somewhere it has athletics, presumably.
If you hit the grapple button, you can then hit the athletics check
Oh.
from grapple.
That is very handy.
Yeah, that will fail, unfortunately.
Ah.
The zombie punches it, but fails to maintain any sort of hold. Kind of grabs one of the ribs of the horse that's exposed, and the rib just breaks off.
Ooh,
Divine
snack.
Lance. Minus
that's
60
out of
feet.
range. No, 75. 80 for you.
Move 15 feet.
Okay,
Command Zuka move 15 feet. End of turn.
okay, sounds good. Philip, we're up to you.
Alright, I'm going to energy shot at the start of my round.
Okay.
We'll start a combat. Electricity.
Mm-hmm. 3
Uh,
bullets.
Yep. First shot. I'm not moving.
Sounds good.
I'm killing a horse.
Nice.
That is
Oh.
a hit.
11 points of damage.
Nice.
All right. A little bit of piercing, a little bit of electricity damage to him. Very good.
Second action, reload.
Mhm.
Third action, fucking blasted.
Sounds good.
Oh my god.
Another hit. Absolutely.
A little less damage. 6 points of damage.
Little less damage. By the way, what type of reload were you doing? Remember, you have funny special reloads.
Right, I do have funny special reloads.
So you could conjure a bullet for free so you don't waste one, or you can make a recall knowledge as part of that reload.
I'm trying to think what a recall knowledge would give me. Could I use my recall knowledge to ponder the nature of these zombies and if they actually heard my shot? I'm trying to figure out if that cow is actually deaf or not.
You can certainly try, yeah, absolutely.
I'll do my thoughtful reload then as my reload, and not conjure a bullet.
From what you're aware, zombies can absolutely hear you. So you're not sure why it hasn't drawn the zombie cow's attention.
That's my turn.
Alright. That'll take us to one of the hounds, the one closest. It is going to use... what's its movement speed? Yes, slow. Both of its actions to come rushing at your zombie.
Wow.
Brag, we're up to you. Yeah, zombies with only 2 actions are a bit rough to use when players have long range.
That's why I left him so far back.
A Glock.
And then we're just gonna do casual Divine Lance.
Alright, you are set to private by the
Yeah,
rolling.
That popped it back out. There we go.
Alright, who are you targeting? The horse?
The horse.
Sounds good. Go ahead and make your attack roll. That will miss, unfortunately.
Excellent. That was a good turn.
Very effective. Alright, Requiem, we're up to you.
I'm gonna move over here.
Alright.
And then I'm gonna
Just like a firing line.
summon on dead.
Ooh.
We're gonna pop Mr. Skeletal on the field.
Yours looks way
Okay.
cooler.
Summoning a skeleton guard that just kind of rises out of the grain. It's, so, as a reminder, Summon Undead is a 3-action spell. You would not
Yeah.
have been able to move first, unless you have a free action move.
Oh no, you were absolutely correct. I could not have moved. So that guy doesn't
Apologies.
exist. No, you're fine. You're keeping me honest.
Apologize more, Jericho.
No.
We'll have to make him apologize more.
So instead,
I just want to make him cry. That's my only goal in life.
So
Why do you hate me?
Because I've given you so many good reasons to hate me, and you remain my friend.
Divine Lance as well, alright. This one will hit. Alright, for 3 spirit damage to the horse, which it absolutely takes. There is a soul somewhere in there to be damaged. And I believe that'll take us to the last hound. That's just gonna rush here with 2 actions. Very effective turn.
yes.
Gaming. Alright, back to the top of the round. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's going to go ahead and just make a Jaws attack against the Shambler that it's right next to. Fantastic.
Wow.
Unable to. The bullet that impacted it kind of broke its jaw. So it struggles to get its first bite off, but will attempt with its second action one more bite. The Duality,
No.
which will be 18 damage to your Shambler.
Ooh.
Still up. That's important.
It is.
And that'll take us to your turn, Azrael.
I think the horse is easier to hit than a dog. Probably. It is bigger. Command, bite, grab, divine lance.
Okay.
Tragic.
Unfortunate.
Oh, then it will map punch again.
Sounds good.
The duality of man.
What are these rolls tonight? Goodness gracious.
Oh my god!
These are the kind of roles that come from
My
games being
boy!
triggered.
The hero!
There's a lot of damage to the horse, absolutely.
That did almost as much damage as a bullet.
Bullet, bullet. And that is a successful Divine Lance as well. Go ahead and roll damage for it.
Get away from him.
6 points of damage. The horse is still standing. Barely, but it is still standing.
Enter.
Philip, we're up to you.
Bullet.
Your gun
So
is currently
much.
unloaded, so you will have to load with your
Correct.
first action.
Yes, I will.
Any special load?
No, I'll just conjure for my
Okay.
first load this round.
Sounds good. Save yourself some ammo.
Yep, and then bullet.
Bullet.
The last elemental bullet.
That looks like a hit to me.
My final energy shot for 10
Alright.
damage.
And that will be enough to cause the horse to finally collapse. Its body kind of riddled with impacts and energies, and seems to just be unable to support itself at this point. You've got one action left.
I will. I will just reload. I can't conjure, so I will just. I'll thoughtful reload.
Sure.
Is there anything else I can learn with my
So common things
Recall
you can
knowledge?
always ask with recall knowledge are like passive abilities, special actions, weaknesses, resistances, immunities, high save, low save. You could even ask just what type of creature is it? Any special senses? Pretty much like any variable thing about a stat block you can ask a question on when you recall knowledge.
I'll take weaknesses.
Sounds good.
Hoping they reply to the cow.
Unfortunately, your information mostly applies to machinery and tools. You have not paid as much attention to the actual handling of zombies on the various farms you've gone to and worked at. You're not quite certain what they'd be especially weak to.
Worth a shot. That's my turn.
Worth a shot?
Oh my
Shut
god,
up.
get out.
Shut
Both.
up. That was unintentional.
All
You
right.
have to get out for saying it, regardless if it was intentional or not, and Jericho has to get out for calling attention to it.
So I am to be punished purely because I am a genius?
Yes.
That's one
Damn.
word you can use to describe yourself.
Purely because I'm an asshole?
All right. The Hound is going to make a strike against your Shambler, Azrael.
Hold the line. No.
And unfortunately, I think that'll take it out of commission.
He is destroyed.
All right, your undead collapses to the ground, deceased. And the Hound will then use one action to start rushing at the rest of you, tongue kind of lolling from its mouth as it sees the rest of you as fresh meat. Though only about half of you have meat. But that takes us to you.
There's this lovely hound here,
There is
and
indeed.
it's running at us. And I don't want it to do that.
Oh. All right then.
That dog's gone.
I don't want it to exist.
So roll damage, and I'll just deal double damage from that. Okay, 8 points of damage to the Hound.
The dog is not gone.
The dog is not gone. The dog is still alive.
That is unfortunate.
He's got
Quick
one
question
action
for you,
left.
Jericho.
Quick answer for you.
What is the dog doing?
running.
What's the dog doing?
Thank you.
What the dog doing?
Did you roll crit damage there?
You cannot roll crit damage from a spell. You just roll damage.
There is a
and then
double
I-
button, though. You just,
It just takes
double it.
double.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Don't damage yourself. What are you doing?
or that.
You've got one action left, Drag. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna pass.
Okay. Requiem, that takes us to your turn, and I want to mention, since you've kind of moved the furthest out, some of the things you notice as you come forward a little bit. You can see up near the northern walls, next to the silos, what appear to be grappling hooks and rope, seemingly semi-hidden against the side of the silos.
Well, those would have been helpful an hour ago.
I think they're on the inside, Jacob.
They are on the inside.
Yeah, but I'm trying to climb the building over here.
When were you trying to climb the building inside?
Last session.
No,
When he almost killed his
you
snake.
could have just bought
Oh,
your
right.
own grappling hook. You
Yeah,
know?
I didn't expect to need one. Now I don't have to buy one. I can just take that one.
Summoning!
Excellent.
Right. That instantly gives you 2 actions with it.
What just happened? I went to add my special reanimator effect to it.
Yes.
And I apparently did it wrong, and I just dragged it off the hot bar.
Oh
and
yeah,
put
you
it
just
on.
you want to click it while it's on the hotbar, not drag it. I'll add it on for you.
Thank you. Can you also give me that back on my hotbar too? Because it's gone.
I cannot access your hotbar while you're in game, but I'll do it between sessions for you.
Cool, thank you.
If you find it in your feet, you can just drag like the effect button from your feet onto your hotbar, and it should give it.
How about reanimator dedication?
He does have the reanimator dedication.
So I'm saying, what is this thing that's missing?
I give +1 to stuff.
He gets a status bonus to attack rolls, AC saves, and skill checks for any undead he summons.
Yeah, it's the effect on your little zombie. You can probably just drag it if you click on the zombie, drag it back to your hotbar.
That does not work, unfortunately. He has to drag it from the source, which is the feet on his sheet.
Fair
let's
enough.
Try to deal that damage to the skeleton. Yeah, carving into the hound, you are very aware from your extensive experience at this point. Zombies typically are very weak to cutting and slashing damage types. So the sword carves into the hound and just takes a leg off right off the bat.
Interesting.
It's got 1 more action. Unfortunately, not enough to take the hound down with that, though. Right, that'll bring us to
I
the
do
other
report
hound.
there's a giant deadly cow coming soon.
Are you sure you don't want to use it now against the dog?
Yes,
Fair enough.
thanks for playing.
All right, the dog is
Large
going to
enemy
use
spider.
1 action to rush up next to the skeleton. And is going to... The one dog in existence that doesn't have pack tactics, sad, is going to make a bite
It's
against
too
the
dumb.
guard.
Skill issue.
I
Wow.
almost lost my character to that.
Yikes. I am not meant to hurt you guys today, it seems.
Nope.
All
I
right,
lost the effect.
Azrael, you're up.
All right. Did I position you incorrectly? I did position you. Zuko will command move. Oh no, I will divine lance, and then I will command her to move, so she's not
Sure.
in the way.
Who are you lancing?
Does the near death one have cover?
It will have lesser cover, yes.
Lesser cover 2.
Lesser cover is just a +1 to AC.
It's a +1. I'll do that one.
All right. That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage. And that'll be enough.
Let's go.
Just enough to cause the zombie hound to collapse to the ground. No longer moving.
Command Zuka move 20. And stop there.
All right. Philip, we're on to you.
And I started blasting.
All right. Let's see. I just want to check.
I
No
like
cover.
one more.
If you put Zuka there.
There.
Okay. No cover on the Hound.
I'm blasting.
That will just barely miss, unfortunately.
I'm gonna hero point that.
All right.
Ooh. Lead it back.
Oh boy,
No dice.
free hero point.
You get the hero point back.
Okay,
Classic
I'm
hero
also. I will recalculate
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
as a bonus action. Not a bonus action, as a
As a
reaction.
reaction.
Choose to D&D. This is all.
how do you have that?
It's my level 1 sharpshooter. It's my level 1 gunslinger
That's his
feat.
relic.
Oh,
So
it was
I
my
gave him
relic.
that.
You have your relic already?
No, everyone should have their relic ability, but items still have not yet been finalized. Y'all need to send those to me still.
Oh.
Go ahead
did.
and hit apply effect, Philip.
And then I will conjure bullet
Mhm.
and take my second shot.
Go for it.
Thank
Why
you.
did you go down?
That'll hit.
Not a crit.
The
Shocker.
kickback, unfortunately, is preventing you from critting.
Oh, I just
What's
can't
that?
crit at all?
Well, no, with that.
Oh, okay, cool. 4 damage.
All right. 4 points of damage to the Hound. Drag, we're up to you.
So anyway, I started blast.
Okay.
Right, it's targeting the wrong one.
The skeleton
one.
guard will be right
Skeleton-
back, guys.
I don't know why the fuck it made me say that as a
That'll
Nice.
hit. Points of damage. All right.
Ooh.
One action left. Anything in particular you'd like to do with it?
No, not right now.
Fair enough. Requiem, we're up to you. Divine. Does everyone have this cantrip?
Yes.
We're all divine casters.
Oops, all clerics.
Correct.
That will just barely miss. I'm so sorry.
I mean, the gunslinger probably doesn't have it.
The gunslinger has a gun. That's a
He
version
does
of
have a
Divine
gun.
Lance.
Mortal lance.
All
Fucking
right.
fireworks going off.
Heavy slashing damage dealt.
I can kill.
That'll
Let's
do.
go.
All right.
Oy. Nice. All right. That will be enough slashing damage that the last of these zombie beasts will collapse to the ground, no longer moving before slowly crumbling to dust. Well done.
Do we want to use the skeleton guard for anything before he poofs?
If people are okay with it, I want to send him out near the pen, where the bull is. Not into the pen, but by it.
How long did these last?
A minute.
1 minute.
I like my snake.
So every 50 feet would be one round, realistically.
So that's 3.
Seeing if anything else is like around to jump out from behind a building or something.
That's 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's 5.
That is 5. And
Oh.
that's when the cow's going to notice it. Would you like initiative rolled, or would you just like the cow to take an action here?
Just have the cow take an action.
Okay. Check its movement speed.
And then we all should be in like a pretty safe position to just run back out of the gate.
Have we already rigged the gate to trap?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
All right.
I thought
So-
Mosquito will run right up next to the zombie with one action, or with its turn.
Oh fuck.
So you
Is
do
that-
have another turn. You have another chance to command the skeleton guard if you would like.
Sure. Why not? Let's see what happens.
don't bring him back here. Oh, nice.
You're having the guard attack. Okay.
3 damage.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage with that. It bites into the flesh of Mosquito, but does not actually seem to deal any significant sort of damage to it.
Oh.
Well, it
Not
does
a
not
weakness.
have a weakness to slashing damage.
And that will not hit. Mosquito this time is going to make a horn strike against it. Missing its first strike. And we'll try one more. I believe that hits. For roughly
I'm
16
also-
damage to your skeleton.
Okay, so after resistance, that is 11 damage, which is dead.
Yeah.
That
As
is a
always, you can just hit damage, and if there is resistance on the creature, it'll apply it automatically.
Allegedly.
Would you
That
look at
is a
that? It
spooky
even
amount of
gives you a
damage.
little eye to tell you what resisted. But the skeleton will be obliterated by Mosquito. As it seemingly, most of you watched it tried to slam with one horn that it no longer has at first, before then goring the skeleton with the second horn and just smashing it to smithereens.
Jesus.
What
What does it do after that?
After that, sort of
No.
wanders around
No.
this way a little bit.
You do this to us.
Sort of moving in this general direction.
Okay. Time to rig the trap.
Okay.
You notice it kind of trundles in that area for a few minutes, but gradually begins making its way back towards its enclosure.
Like fuck. I'm gonna roll
Okay.
stealth.
Okay.
Where's the funny button?
Okay.
And I'm gonna start creeping through. Moving to. Now that I see the grappling hooks, I'm gonna go up here and grab these.
The grappling hooks?
Yeah, they kind of seem perfect for what I'm trying to do.
Sure.
So I'll head up here. I'll grab the 3 I can see.
Yeah, you can see, like, the hooks themselves are decent, and several coils of pretty sturdy rope attached to them. And the hooks themselves are... You would actually notice this, Philip. The hooks themselves are padded to not
Padded?
make noise.
Oh, so people broke it. Okay.
Just stealing the grain and get caught.
Probably. I'll pick up all of them that I can,
Okay.
and then I will make my way back.
I'm gonna stop you as you pass me. Can I borrow one of those?
Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah. Here you go. I'll hand over one of the grappling hooks. We
And,
should have enough for everyone if they need one, but we might lose one with this gambit.
something that's gonna seem very unnatural to. Oh, apparently not.
Don't forget to please roll stealth blind.
Got it. Just gonna move up towards the horse.
Okay.
I'm gonna move back to the mechanism.
Just gonna like tie the thing around his neck and drag the body back towards the gate.
Okay.
This is my horse now.
Remember, most of the time, bodies tend to fall apart when they're undead after they're destroyed. So
I
it's
was
not
not
really
aware.
a full skeleton or a full horse at this point. It's mostly just like a few limbs here and there, most of which, like a lot of the body, sort of crumbled into this ashy substance.
Never mind.
It's bits.
I was just gonna
Not the
reanimate the
bits.
horse during the bullfight, but I was not aware of this.
The horse would not be a level that you could reanimate at this point in time, anyways.
Oh.
You could reanimate the dogs, but a horse is too high level for you to animate.
Fair enough.
While
I thought you said horse earlier when you were reading the options off. That's why I was gonna do that.
No,
but never
it
mind.
was zombie shambler, zombie dog, and skeleton guard are the three really good options for you guys at the moment.
Right.
While you are over there, though, could you give me a perception check, please?
I mean, sure. I was gonna take it back since I didn't realize that that's how this worked in this
yeah. If you
setting.
would not have walked over there, then
Yeah,
no
no,
worries about making the check.
I wasn't aware how that worked.
Yeah,
That's my
undead,
mistake.
when they reach 0 hit points, there isn't really an unconscious state except for the player character undead. They are what we consider fully destroyed at this point. So there
I
are
just assumed there was. I assumed there was still like an actual body. I was just gonna try and
partially,
reanimate it.
not fully though. They sort of start decomposing and collapsing into dust. Like, you can see the corpses of what appear to be a few other farmhands at this point over in this area that have, like, some farming implements with them. And they have been, like, they're sort of slowly decomposing as well into this ashy substance. There isn't an entire body left over of any of them.
That's fine then. I was just going back out the gate. I wouldn't have asked you for the grappling hook.
Okay, I still have 3.
Yep.
I will now do my best to keeping everyone away from the gate. Oh, I want to test this, but I also don't want to test this. I will, using the grappling hook as a wedge, attempt to prevent the trap from triggering until I pull the release cord, which will be the rope.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a blind crafting roll. I wonder what you rolled.
I'm gonna hero point that.
You cannot.
Damn.
You can definitely get the grappling hook wedged in there, such that it'll definitely prevent it from closing at the moment. Pulling it free is where it's going to be a struggle, because remember, the tines of the hook kind of point back towards where the rope is, so if you try and pull on that rope, you're more almost going to be pulling it further into the mechanism than pulling it free of the mechanism.
So I will.
It could be pulled with enough strength. It would probably destroy the wall. Since these aren't like the sturdiest walls, any of you would have noticed that just like walking by.
And that defeats the purpose of trapping the bull in the wall.
So, based on your description, could somebody who is inside the walls pull it instead and have it work as intended?
I mean, sounds
That was
like you
gonna
should
be
go
my
on top.
question.
Sounds like you should go on top of the silo right there.
Yeah, someone who is inside could theoretically pull it and get it out. Or, I mean, realistically, like, if you wedge this section right here, the person who's going to pull it free, you want standing over here. Because, like, the point of contact with the rope and hook would be about there, with the tine stuck in the wall, and you could theoretically pull it free. You're going to need someone that's got some force in their pull, though, to do so. It is probably, using a grappling hook like this, going to require an athletics roll to pull free. Not necessarily a high DC, but athletics I will ask for.
Anyone trained in athletics? Does anyone have a strength score above 1?
Zuka does.
So,
The bone snake is stronger than me.
so
Got
we
a
could
+2.
also, we could also, as a group of people who are centered around the idea of raising the dead, summon a zombie shambler that has a +5 athletics, and we also don't care if they get trapped inside with a bull if it gets fucked up.
But we need some way to trigger the zombie.
So you cannot you cannot have a minion trigger a reaction, but you can, I believe, have somebody ready in action to command the undead, which would let them act immediately. Jericho, do I have that right?
You do have that correct. If it is an undead companion, yes. If it is a summon, no, because you have to sustain the spell on your turn. And the sustain action is what gives them their actions. You can't really ready to sustain outside of your turn because the spell would fail at that point.
I see.
Well, then why not do the best of both worlds? Put the hook here, so we have to stand here, and then make the zombie pull it. And then someone else can also roll athletics to potentially give the zombie to lower the DC and aid the zombie. That way,
the most noteworthy thing that I have to that, well, number one is the only undead that we could utilize for this plan is the snake.
couldn't we summon an undead?
That's the
No,
problem. You
that was-
cannot sustain a summon and thus
Right.
command it as a reaction. So it would have to be the snake pulling it. Which is trained in athletics.
To be fair though, this is getting kind of out there. We put the snake inside the fence with a rope tied around it over the fence. We have the snake pull the rope to trigger the trap, and then we pull the rope to pull over the snake. It weighs what? Like 6 pounds? It's a skeleton snake.
Yeah.
We'd be able to do that.
Yeah.
We'll have a repeat of the Eastern Wall situation.
If I have enough time, could I,
Alternatively, you could just scale the silo and pull it from on top of the silo.
I think that's probably the best option.
The one thing that I'm worried about in terms of doing that, and I would recommend using the snake for it, because, no offense, undead companions are disposable.
Zuka looks at you.
Yeah, like if the bull, if we fail to trap the bull with the gate, and we don't fuck it up properly like we're trying to do, if it's stuck on the inside of the gate, it might look up and see somebody there and just fucking repeatedly charge into the silo until it's destroyed. We've already seen it break down half a building.
Well,
Yeah.
in theory, you want to lay down and be hidden until this gate is triggered.
Yeah.
Because if the gate fails, it doesn't matter where he is. We're all going to be at full range.
Right. My point is, it is technically possible for something to go wrong in such a way that the gate shuts, but the bull is trapped inside. And at that point, whoever is on top of the silo is revealed.
Jericho, stop rolling.
No.
And it's happening in such a way where they're now trapped inside with the bull, and we're all outside. So whoever is stuck in that position is probably going to die, because like I said, the bull would just charge the silo until it's destroyed.
Philip, you're up.
Lovely. So I'm going on the top, and I'm gonna run jump. If shit goes sideways.
I mean, if that's what you want to try. I mean, I still support the idea of putting the snake on top of the silo.
I do. Yeah, I think we should probably put the snake on top of the silo before I go on the silo.
Okay.
How tall are they?
About 40 feet tall. And you are going to want it on this one if you want the easiest chance of pulling the wedge free. So right there, so you're actually... Okay. So you've got a grappling hook set up in the gate. You've got the end in Zuka's mouth. It is ready to try and pull it free.
Love this.
I will trigger the trap. Not pulling the rope out of Zuko's mouth, but trigger
just,
the trap
like,
so that it is
activate
now... Yes, so it is now forced against the
Grappling hook?
grappling hook, ready to be fully activated when Zuko finishes pulling.
Okay. The doors... So actually, something I just realized, you're gonna need a hook in both doors, realistically. Because when you pull the lever, this
Both of
door
them. So we're gonna have to be timed, aren't we?
catches and is held open. This one is not. This one slams shut.
Could we not just do that on purpose, and then when the other door, like, leave one door shut and just leave it shut? That's fine.
Yeah.
And then
You can
when-
absolutely do that.
Yeah.
And then just force the bowl to squeeze through.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, because this door is open at kind of like this angle right now.
Yeah.
Actually be a little bit more like that. So, yeah, it could trundle through. Do-do-do-do.
And then the part of the plan that none of us thought of. How the fuck do we get the bull over here?
Oh, so actually, I've got that covered.
Okay, thank fuck. Because I was just gonna start shooting at it.
No.
Well, you were the fastest.
Yes.
I'm
Right?
not going to do it.
Yeah. Well, Requiem's faster than me.
I am the fastest in terms of running speed.
How fast are you?
35.
Oh wow, you are very fast.
Requiem can fucking blast.
I was an elf with the fleet
Oh, elves are
where
good.
vampire, so but I'm gonna summon a predatory rabbit undead.
I'm also getting onto the other side of the fucking wall.
And the bunny rabbit has a move speed of 4. So it is very fast.
Okay. I don't have art for this idiot, so...
I don't know if hounds have the same statistics or not.
No, I have the sheet up for the predatory rabbit, I just don't have art for it. So,
Yeah, I know. But if what I'm saying is if zombie hounds also have a movement speed of 40, I'll
No.
use a hound.
Hounds have a movement speed of 25.
Funny it
It's
is.
slow. The predatory rabbit isn't even a zombie, so it's got a full 3 actions.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay.
It's really interesting that I can summon it. Like when I look at the animate dead spell,
It's a
it says
level-
undead you can summon predatory rabbit.
Yeah, it's a level -1 undead.
Oh, it's just not a zombie typed creature. It's just
Correct.
like a skeleton rabbit.
Yeah. So, let me go ahead
Oh.
and get that set up in your guys' summons, and I will get art for it by next session in case you want to summon again in the future. Here you go. Have your stupid little rabbit.
Now the problem is I just don't know where the bowl is.
That is correct. And is everyone positioned where they would like themselves to be?
Yes, I am. Actually, if I move here, no. How about here? I can be there.
Can I ready a summon undead spell for when the gate gets triggered?
You cannot. The ready action, as it works, is you spend 2 actions to ready a single action activity. And then
That's why
when
I
you
asked, because I
trigger
didn't
a
remember how
specified-
readying works in the system.
You can only ready a single action activity. You cannot ready a
Ready the-
full 3 actions.
I'm just gonna
Right.
make sure my gun is loaded.
Okay. Well,
Because
once
if it is
the-
unloaded, I can't use the energy shot.
That's fair. Once the operation begins, we are going to have everyone roll initiative and get started from there, tracking things in initiative order.
I'm not summoning the bunny until I can see the bowl,
Right.
because I'm just gonna
Will you please give me a stealth check?
Sure.
Blind, please.
'Cause that's surprisingly something that never came up in the other Pathfinder game.
Oh,
Surprisingly,
Readying.
Barbarian doesn't
Yeah.
need to ready anything, just needs to bonk.
readying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aha! I see it.
Rivet.
Okay, so I'm gonna summon the bunny.
Okay.
Are you gonna be able to get
now-
out?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna stand here while the bunny does its thing. I'm gonna be running the other way while the bunny.
2 actions straight, 1 action command.
I mean, what do you mean, Requiem? You don't want to commit to the bit?
Are we ready to begin the operation?
I am ready.
I am ready.
Fuck it. Philip is ready.
Let's go die together.
All right. I am going to
I'd say I'd
ask-
see you in hell, but I have a feeling we're not going to hell.
I think we already lived there.
I'm going to ask everyone. Go ahead and please roll initiative. Requiem, I was going to ask you specifically to do it with religion.
Can I do mine with crafting?
No.
Fuck.
What if religion is the same role?
Oh, then you're fine. Okay. Requiem. You're up. A rabbit
Okay,
is
I don't have-
summoned.
Okay.
Have your full turn ahead of you.
So bunny's gonna come over here.
Okay. And you're gonna book it.
Yep, and I'm gonna move right there.
Are you running
So that-
through the grain that is spilled? Right there.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
just a quick
honestly
question.
didn't even see that.
Yeah.
No, I'd probably be more like right there.
Okay, not running
Running
through the
away.
grain.
I don't think that's exactly where I could have gotten. I think I could have got a little further, but it's fine.
You want to move
I don't remember
like
what
5
part I
feet
was
to your
on
left.
before. I could move 5 feet to the left.
If you'd like to. Okay.
I mean, closer to the gate is better. So
Azrael, anything you would like to do right now?
Delay.
Just delaying?
I guess not delay, just pass.
Okay. Philip, anything you'd like to do right now while you wait?
I'll do my free energy shot because I have to.
Sounds good.
Also
Luckily, it doesn't
can't
have a
see
time
the-
limit on it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Before you apply the effect to yourself, I made a new version for you. Try that version I just added to your sheet.
Under my actions?
Yeah, it should have an actual use button for you, not that one. Apply effect.
I'll keep electricity.
Okay.
Yep, it's there.
Perfect. Only thing I'm working on is giving it an actual counter of 3 to start. That way you can actually keep track of how many shots you have. So right now you should be able to see it's at 3. Whenever you use one, you can just right-click the picture in the top right, and it'll go down to 2 to 1, and then disappear when you run out.
Sounds good to me.
So that way you'll actually be able to track your energy shots. You all right? Drag, anything you would like to do?
Pass.
Just passing? All right. That will take us to Moscuta's turn at the top of initiative. Moscuta is absolutely going to see your predatory rabbit. It's going to just begin running towards it. Requiem. We're at you. Okay.
Gonna move myself first.
Fair enough.
Go.
Okay. Azrael.
Skip.
Okay. Philip.
He is not within range yet, so I will do nothing.
All right. Drag.
Pass.
All right. I imagine it's mostly going to be passing until it relatively
Yeah.
appears.
Yeah.
So.
Philip, do you actually want to stand over here by me?
Do I? I have no idea actually.
So I was gonna, I can like cast bless on you when we actually start.
Oh, yeah, I'll move over to you then. If you're gonna cast bless on me.
Yeah.
Requiem.
That's not me. I'm over here.
That's not you, goddammit. Sorry, still getting used to voices.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong divine caster.
Oh my god, I don't have sight on my own token.
If you click and drag real quick, that where there isn't any token, that should unselect everything, and you should be able to see it.
No, I can't see it that way. That's my point.
Oh, well. I know where you are, but there you go. Get some sight.
Here he is. Run, little bunny.
Oh god, I can't fucking see it.
Okay.
Deselecting my character token.
Yep.
Because I am terrified.
Azrael, anything?
Delay?
You duplicated me, by the way.
Hmm?
At least on my screen, I see duplicates of my character.
That happens when both the GM and player try to move the token at the same time. You need to refresh to
Dun
get
dun
rid of that.
dun.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
That's what you were talking about last week.
Yeah. Azrael, are you going to be readying an action to command Zuka to
Yes.
pull it free? Okay,
Yes. I will ready a command.
gotcha. You can probably start doing that as it's approaching now.
I'll do that now.
All right, Philip and Drag, anything for the two of you right now, or just waiting?
I shit my pants.
I'm gonna pass the next
Didn't
turn.
need to know.
I don't shit my pants and I pass.
Okay. Mascuda is coming very slowly towards you guys at 50 feet a turn. Very impactful. All right, Requiem.
I mean, you say slow, like many of us can go any faster.
I mean, I can go 25 feet faster.
But can you attack at the same time?
No.
Yeah.
After 3 turns, yes.
Is the bunny staying where it is, Requiem?
Is it the start of my turn again?
It is your turn again, yeah. And Mascuda at this point is roughly 85 feet from the bunny, so it won't even be able to catch up this turn.
I'm going to command it to like it's gonna come here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make it try and look like it's trying to hide. If you get what I
Sure.
mean. So like
Yeah.
the bull probably still see it, but I'm trying to make it act more natural and less follow me to your death.
Command hide badly.
Bunny does not have deception. Do you have deception?
I do have deception.
Can you roll deception for me, please?
I sure can.
Just to see how well you can control the bunny to act natural. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, 20's way better.
Azrael. Or, I'm sorry, Requiem, did you want to do anything else with your last two actions?
I am going to shield myself.
Sounds good.
Oh. You make a good point. I will cast shield in the ready action command.
Fair.
That will only last until the start of the next turn, though.
But I can do it
Yeah.
every turn.
Unless you use the shield block reaction it gives you, you can just keep casting shield. Once you use shield block, you become immune to it for 10 minutes.
You make a really good point there.
I'm gonna use the shield action right before he busts through the wall like the fucking Kool-Aid man, though.
Anything for you, Philip?
No.
Anything for you, Dry?
Waiting until
Pass.
Okay.
next turn to shield.
You or ready action spirit.
Mosquito's gonna run. Mosquito is at a point that 50 feet will take it right into the gate.
Next turn or
Requiem.
this turn?
Next turn.
Next turn.
All right. The bunny is gonna move in a like weird kind of like
Running back and forth.
yeah, it's like in a panic kind of state, and then
Sure.
it's gonna run like just this way.
Okay.
And
Oh.
it will stop. It'll stop there on the map, but it is gonna go to the left, like another.
I see
20
even
feet.
further.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's very
Gone.
it's in line of sight of the bull still.
Sure. Azrael. Oh, or sorry.
Ready action.
Again, I forgot 2 actions for Requiem still. I'm a bad GM.
I'm also gonna do a move
Okay.
and another shield.
Sounds good. Azrael.
Ready action command shield.
Okay. Shield would be done before readying, because readying automatically ends your turn. just as
That's
an
true.
FYI.
Yeah. Yeah. Shield ready action command.
Philip.
Casting shield. Ready my action to take a shot.
You can cast shield. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I took that fucking feat, baby.
All right.
Hilarious.
Don't doubt me.
Never incorrect to take ever.
It really
Don't.
isn't. Shield and guidance are 2 amazing spells.
Do not doubt me. I am not dying.
All right. And you said you're readying a shot.
I'm ready a shot.
Sounds good. Thraig.
Summon undead.
Sure. What would you like to summon?
The skeleton.
Skeleton.
Wait, there you go.
Skeleton.
You place it within 30 feet of you.
Directly in front of me.
Anything you would like
Be
to do with
my
those 2
armor.
actions?
No, hold on. You don't have like a.
Okay.
It doesn't have any like ready or whatever.
All right, that will take us to Mosquito. And using its 2 actions, it will move to right here in 50 feet.
Reaction command. Zuka pull.
God,
Go
I
ahead and
hope
give me an
this
athletics
works.
check for Zuka.
Fuck, I hope this works.
I hope you. Wait. Skeleton, where did you go? Come back, I need you.
Oh, did I have both of them selected? No?
Hey,
Let's go
hero
with
point then.
No more skeleton.
Good old hero points.
Fuck! Hero points!
There's your skeleton again. I don't know what happened to the other one.
The void ate him.
It really did vanish into the void. Unfortunately, a 12 is not enough to pull it free.
No. That's okay. That's okay. Its turn is over. It can try again.
Well, when you command, you give Zuka 2 actions.
Oh.
Zuka can absolutely try again here
Do it again.
with its 2nd action.
Go, Zuka.
That was almost a 1.
I was gonna shit myself.
That will succeed. It will slam shut onto Mosquito. Mosquito has to get a reflex save here.
Quick, who knows silvery barbs?
which would make a crit
Okay.
fail.
Hey,
Jesus Christ.
So, it is going to take double damage here. So, 18 damage, reduced a little bit, and it is restrained by the door. I want you to know it was only going to be restrained if it crit failed.
oh no.
So this entire plan only succeeded because he crit failed.
Now, I believe, Philip, you had a held action to shoot. You may do that right now as well if you'd like.
I'm gonna take out one of its legs.
Okay, if you're going for a called shot, that's weird to do in Pathfinder.
I know, but I really don't want this thing to be moving anymore.
Because technically called shot is a 10th level feat for gunslingers.
If it's something I can't do, then I won't do it. We can just say I can't do this.
Realistically, I'm gonna say no, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
When
I
you guys
have
get
to-
it to a point that it's like... You know it's in a
Fine.
restrained position, I will allow it. I am going to give it cover, though, essentially, because you
Yeah.
are targeting specifically the legs.
Okay,
So it is harder
and then
to hit.
I'm shooting with the hope that I will remove a leg and make this thing more immobile than it currently is. That is the overall goal. So I'll make my shot.
Go for it. That will hit.
Thank you, off guard.
Okay.
Nice.
You impact the leg and cause its front leg to buckle a bit underneath its weight. Whether that will impact it or not remains to be seen. But that will take us to Requiem's turn.
Would you
Alright.
like to if you're gonna divine lance, would you like to delay initiative 22 so I can give you less?
All right, so I'm gonna delay to 22.
Sounds good. Azrael, you're up.
I'm gonna cast bless.
Okay. Put that aura on yourself.
So
Bless.
big by default now.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
Yeah. 15-foot emanation increases by 10 every turn. My goodness.
I'm gonna take this step action.
Okay.
Just go there.
Sounds good. Now you're up, Requiem.
You have to have yourself selected before you can target things. I'm going to divine lance.
Okay.
I don't know if you'll allow me to try to target the leg too or not.
You
Actually,
may
that doesn't
attempt
even
to do
make
so.
I don't think that makes sense for spear damage, right?
Not really.
I can't damage the spear with its leg.
Yeah.
This isn't Stormlight.
If it were a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, I'd allow it, but right now, no.
Nat 20.
All right then.
Go down.
That's been 2 of those this session.
12 points of damage.
Jacob, did you like bring bottled Iondar luck with you or something? It's been only criticals.
We're
Now,
doing great.
interestingly enough, in this situation, Requiem, you notice, one, it does have resistance, it seems, to just flat damage. However, dealing a sort of critical hit, something that pierces through its defenses, seems to do a hefty amount of extra impact to it.
Weakness critical.
Weakness to critical hits, yes.
Fascinating.
You've got one action
Alright.
left, Requiem. What would you like to do with it?
I'm going to command the bunny to come back.
Okay. Bunny's gonna come back.
I can't select its position within the square, but it would be at the
There you go.
Thank you. And the bunny is going to attack.
All right.
With its jaws.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna do one of these.
Please don't forget to target, but a 22 will hit.
Is the bunny really gonna hit the bull?
I have it targeted. I just did slash roll 1d20 plus 9 because I didn't see it in the. Oh no, it is. It is in the thing. Okay, my apologies. So I'm just gonna do a strike again, just so I can roll the damage off of it. Wow, of course. I'm just gonna hit the damage.
Yeah, just regular damage here.
I really think Jacob just bottles the luck from our other game and just brought it with him. It's only been critical hits or misses.
As an
What is going
FYI, the rabbit's reach is 0. It does have to be within Moscuta's space to attack.
Oh, then yeah.
Boy.
Just as an FYI. It bites, but is unable to leave any sort of actual impact on Moscuta.
Got it.
Moscuta's resistance is too high for 3 to be enough damage to it.
Doesn't the weakness to crit override that?
He did
didn't
not actually
actually
crit.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, he rolled a 22 to hit initially.
Oh,
He just rolled the strike again to hit damage.
gotcha.
All right, Philip, we're up to you.
First action, thoughtful reload.
Sure.
I want to figure out if this bull can get out of here, or if we are gonna continue to kill it.
That's not really something a recall knowledge will take you.
Okay.
Realistically, any restrained creature can always take the escape action and try and free themselves.
He could think about its strength, couldn't he?
If you would
To
like
try
to try and figure out its attribute modifiers, you could. Yes, I
I
allow
would
that.
love to.
Try and
I'd
see
love
if it
to
has
figure
a
out
good
attribute
chance of freeing
modifiers.
itself. I mean, it's a cow. Do
Moo.
with that information what you will.
Okay, so you can just say I rolled bad.
It busted through 2 walls earlier. It
You don't
looks
have to
like.
be so mean.
Too bad.
I'm very sad.
But it looks pretty stuck to you at the moment. If I'm being honest, it looks pretty trapped.
Alright, second action. I'm going for the kneecaps again.
Okay, if you're going for a leg shot, let me put cover on it.
I do not want this man to have kneecaps.
That will not hit.
I'll hero point this.
Okay. That will crit.
Let's go.
Alright, let's do a lot of damage then.
That's a lot of damage.
Does it have?
That will check something real quick.
Do he
Does it
have
have-
a leg? I don't think he has a leg anymore.
He does not have a life anymore.
Oh no!
Oh, he's dead?
Yeah,
Oh wow!
Shit.
that was high enough damage to eviscerate Moscuta's remaining health and just
Did they crit-
destroy it.
Did I crit exactly, Drew?
It did crit exactly. Yeah. for
Let's
Bless
go!
And being trapped within.
Shout out to Blast.
Shout out to Bless.
Well done.
Requiem is gonna walk up to Philip and pat him on the shoulder. Well, if nothing else, it's taken care of, and we can say that we did our best to preserve it.
Yes. Excellent shot.
I'm gonna fall to the ground and just fall on my ass and go, oh, that's not good for my heart.
It might not be good for your job.
That's also not good for my heart.
I'm gonna command the skeleton to try and push the gate back open.
Okay.
Might as well use it.
Yeah, I mean, once the gate has been activated, it requires being manually reset, so it can just be opened normally.
Oh,
now.
there is also a cow corpse in
There
it.
is a cow corpse in the way. That is, in fact, true.
Is there?
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
Actually, better use of my time. pry the fucking scythe out of its corpse.
Absolutely.
Go, Mr. Skeleton.
Yeah, the skeleton is easily able to take a minute, or so, not a full minute, a couple seconds here, and slowly drag the scythe out of it. It's a pretty classic-looking scythe. Just like what you would imagine typically for farming purposes, for the most part.
Okay, so it does actually look like a farming scythe and not a
Mhm.
no-kid weapon scythe.
I mean, like it's a scythe. It's, dark haft, leather-bound grips. You could absolutely use the weapon. It's big enough that the blade goes through the other side. You can also see on the haft of the blade what appears to be a slightly glowing rune.
Ooh. It's a shame I
Anyone
don't have it.
identify that?
It's a shame I don't really have my identification stuff yet.
I mean, you
Yes,
can always
let-
attempt to identify things.
I mean, I'll do so. I'll
It
sit
takes
down
10
here with
minutes
it.
to do so. And you guys do have the other items as well that you've picked up from the corpse that was originally in this fence if you wanted to try and identify those.
I'll sit down here and try to identify this room.
Okay.
Is it in the party loot stash?
Yep, everything I've taken has been put in the party loot.
I'm also going to sit down beside her and try and identify the runes.
Okay. With
Where
I
is
want
this?
to.
just use a recall knowledge button to try and identify it, is the easiest way to do it.
Okay.
I want to try and remove this thing's horde.
How does that always happen?
Trophies, man, trophies.
Yeah, you can
Try and
absolutely
reward-
take the horn.
Recall knowledge somewhere.
Basic action macros.
I actually intentionally put the recall knowledge on my hotbar by itself so I can click it because it comes up like constantly.
You can do that as well just to make it easier.
I did that as well.
I actually think I put that on everyone's hotbar for this game, if I recall.
You did.
Oh, well then.
I was just
didn't
trying to
do
take
that
credit
in
for your
this
work.
game, But I do that in all of my other games.
Which is the smart thing to do. So, Jag, it should be a button. I want to say in the 3 section of your hotbar.
Oh, I just manually added it to my sheet. That's
Okay.
fine.
Well, that didn't actually roll anything there, is the issue.
You're right, I clicked the wrong one. I think.
It was interesting that it zoomed the camera in on you
I
and
know.
said, think.
Which
Holy shit.
is hilarious. That happens if you play an investigator and use their pursue a lead action. That rolled drag.
That's
so,
kind of funny.
I've got an investigator in a game, and it force zooms the GM in too, so every turn, my overview of things just gets ruined.
Have you simply tried being better?
I have tried gaming a little harder. It has not worked for me yet.
Have you tried gaming a little bit harder?
Wait, no, hold on. Have you activated Gamer Lean?
No.
Have you leaned forward in your gamer chair?
I'm like leaned forward, but also sitting on the side of my chair right now. I'm in a very weird position.
My guy, my life is as a shrimp. I can assure you I'm leaned forward.
Drag, unfortunately, you are unable to recognize the rune on this. Requiem, though, I mean, you come from a very wealthy family. This is the basest of base when it comes to the fundamental runes that could be applied to a weapon. This is a +1 property rune engraved on the scythe.
After staring at it for a minute or two, and I'm going to exaggerate how fast she recognized it, she gives out a sigh. This is a servant rune. Better than nothing, but barely. A simple +1. Whatever that is diegetically.
I don't know, because it's quite literally in-game called a +1 property rune. So, I mean, you could...
No. A potency rune?
Potency rune, thank you. Yeah, so you could just call it a potency rune.
I'm gonna call it a minor potency rune.
There
I
you
feel like
go.
that.
Like that or lesser or something.
Yeah. Lesser or minor, either would work for that. The +2 would probably just be base property, and then a greater or major property rune for a +3. Nice and easy to describe it that way. This scythe is large in nature, though, so it would be very challenging for anyone to wield naturally. Not that any of you use melee weapons in the first place.
We should perhaps set this somewhere nearby and take it later. I don't think any of us could use it, but we can strip the property rune off later.
Does anyone want a walking stick?
Could always go for a walking stick, but
It's
there's no point in not taking it home with us.
No, there's really not. Might as well.
I think she meant set it to the side for now, so you're not carrying it with you while you're still exploring.
Oh, yes.
Alright. Well, the boss cow in here that, quite frankly, could have been a very frightening fight if done differently, has been taken out with nary an injury to any of you. Have retrieved the scythe from within, identified the potency rune attached to it, and now can really begin sort of exploring and figuring out what happened here in earnest, and then begin your process of fixing up the farm. But
Can you
before we get
remind
to-
us? Oh,
Go ahead.
can you remind us of our exact quest goal?
Your exact quest, find out what happened here in the farm. That's the most important, and then essentially do whatever reconstruction you can. So things like fixing this fence, fixing the broken door in the barn to the east. If you can fix up the broken building, great. Not necessarily. Maybe some other things. You could round up the loose zombies that are in the fields if you wanted to, and get them squared away so it'll be easier for someone to come back and control them, but you don't necessarily have to do things like that. Essentially just basic repairs here and there of whatever needs it. You aren't necessarily, probably not at least, expected to do like a full building repair, unless you want to.
Well,
Restoring the farm to working order is the exact terminology Berlin gave you.
I can start taking apart the wagons and stuff, and using that, unless we have another source of lumber.
Perhaps
logs,
before
but gate.
I'll write the
We-
logs.
perhaps before we start repairs, we should make sure the rest of the farm is secure and do
Yes.
any additional investigations on what exactly happened.
Should look into the silos.
As you guys consider what you would like to do here, that's where we're going to go ahead and take our quick break. So stand up, stretch, get some water, and we will come back in a few minutes.
Which one did you pick?
The official artwork for it. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed your quick little break. So, what is the plan moving forward? What would you like to do? Where would you like to look? What would you like to see?
I'd like to see the world.
Just
I
the
wanna
see a
clockwise
cup.
scout
Cup.
around the premises?
Hmm?
Just like a clockwise scout around the premises?
Yeah.
Were the staff... Do I know if staff at these farms wear uniforms?
Not typically, no. I mean, like, typical farming outfits, bleh.
But they're not out here color coordinating their capes.
They're not, no.
Why not?
I mean, some people here are, but
Stares at
not the
Ezreal.
employees.
Cringe.
I'm gonna go look for the dead guy.
There's a lot of
There's
dead
sh-
people here. What would you like to look for in particular?
The ginger.
Ginger fuck.
The ginger fuck.
Berlin's cousin?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
God,
look
he
for
was-
the giant pile of red somewhere that's more red than the other piles of red.
I forgot he was her cousin. I don't say ginger fuck out loud.
I mean, I asked her if she wanted it back, and she said shrug.
She said, if okay.
All right. You want to go look for Berlin's cousin? What about the rest of you?
I
am
want to
honest.
start examining the damages done to the wall and the gates.
Okay.
I have a pretty good idea of how they got in,
Go ahead.
but I just want to confirm that they got in the way I think they did.
Yeah. You can give me either crafting or engineering lore if you'd like.
Oh boy, it's the same number.
But how often am I realistically going to allow you to roll engineering lore?
That's why I'm rolling engineering lore. You want this blind?
Did we determine what direction it seems like the person who got smashed in the gate was going? In or out?
I think out.
In.
Oh, in.
Philip, if you want to spend a while kind of securing the perimeter, you absolutely can. In particular, you notice sort of right up in this northern area of the wall, a whole section that is partially sunken into the earth, and I mean the wall's crumbling. There are numerous sort of easy handholds and footholds on both sides of the wall, realistically, that would allow someone to attempt to scale the wall without rope.
So Jacob just really picked the worst spot to go in.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes.
But if you want to spend some time, Philip, kind of doing the entire perimeter and kind of like knock out the most obvious nooks, you absolutely could. You'd probably spend close to an hour doing that.
Yeah, and I want to just as I'm going along, I'll just do basic repairs if I'm able to.
Yeah, kind of like just hitting the more egregious protrusions back into place to make the wall a bit more solid. Absolutely. Finding some areas that maybe have more crumbling mortar that might need a little bit of pick-me-up or replacement later down the line. You can absolutely do that as well.
And then I'll mark all the spots I can't fix in the moment.
Sure. Sounds good. Did I see someone standing up here a moment ago?
I think that was Requiem.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Would you just give me a quick perception check while you're up there? Okay.
Oh, actually, yeah, there's bodies here. I'm gonna actively investigate.
Absolutely. Yeah. You are able to recognize those three as farmhand corpses specifically. Taking a look around the area, there's a lot of like sort of scuffed dirt and dust in the area. You get the sense though that there was probably some sort of scuffle right in this region. Unfortunately, you can't really make out the details of it. One thing that does catch your attention, though, in the grain that has spilled on the ground, you're able to pick out what appears to be like pinkish gray powder kind of sprinkled across the grain. A little bit.
I would like to investigate that further.
Sure. That would either be, let's say, crafting or medicine.
Well, I've got crafting.
Go for it. Nice. taking some quick looks and tests, it seems to be potentially alchemical in nature. You get the sense it was likely sprinkled in the actual like hatch at the top of the silo, and just some that has spilled out through the open side door has some of this powder on top of it. Doesn't appear to be poisonous in any way. Best you can tell, like, ingestion of this powder might result in a mild headache.
And it's not like combustible or anything, right?
Doesn't appear to be, no. Azrael and Dry, what about the two?
Still looking for the ginger.
Sure. There was
I'm
a
going-
guy up here, as a reminder, who was impaled on Moscuta's other horn, it looked like.
Was it broken off in the fence?
I think we asked if he looked like the person, though.
It was hard to tell because he's wearing a cloak. And you guys never got a close look really coming in because, you know, Moscuta was in here.
Mhm.
Well, are any of the bodies in here vaguely important person looking? Like that one.
Azrael, I need a stealth check from you, blind, please. Unless you're not trying to be stealthy at all. Drag, give me a perception check.
This is blind.
Yes, please. Or you can give me a public medicine check. Your choice.
Yeah, no.
I probably wouldn't be sneaking.
Okay. I'll get to you in a Drag, you look and see what appears to be probably 5 corpses in total worth of body parts. Seem to be mostly zombies, pretty decayed. Unfortunately, there's extensive damage to all of them, and they seem to be scattered pretty heavily. They're all pretty indistinguishable from one another. No weapons or anything in sight around here.
Not here. I'm gonna head this way.
Okay. Heading up in destroyed building. Let's pivot over to Azrael real quick. As you come down south, Azrael, a couple things catch your attention. One, what appears to be a vegetable garden. You see a variety of different things, what look to be like tubers, berries, leafy vegetables, that seem, at a glance, pretty neglected in these planter boxes. There's a wheelbarrow kind of lying on its side, some damp soil spilling from it onto the path. Right where you are is about a 12-foot tall archway in the side of this rocky outcropping.
It's like a cave or something.
There is a wooden fence in the archway with an open gate currently.
Is that in the front or is it like farther in?
Right here, in the front.
Okay. So I'm looking for any more zombies that might like try to jump out at us,
Perception
like
check.
the dogs. Good old seek. Blind.
Please.
Both characters.
Sure. Zuka doesn't have a great way of telling you anything. We'll just let you know things.
Like hiss if they're the bad guy.
You hear Azrael past the archway inside whatever this rock structure is, what sounds like scratching and scraping, as well as the occasional moan of a zombie.
Perfect. I'll kind of head back towards people to tell them then.
Okay.
And I'm also.
Why did
poised
that
to do
post
more
in chat?
investigating.
I don't
I
know,
was just
it's-
waiting for it to come back around to me.
Yes. Sorry, Requiem. What about you?
I didn't even click anything.
I am going to be
Uh-oh.
investigating these bodies now, which I
Okay.
know have red tapes.
They do. Go ahead and give me either medicine or perception. Choice.
Does it have to be blind?
If it is perception, blind, medicine can be public. How much would you like to know if you're right or not? I mean, the area over here seems to be trampled pretty heavily. The 3 wagons are all empty at this point in time, and the remains of about 4 individuals are strewn about and ripped to shreds. You can see the tattered remains of red cloaks on them, but they have been desiccated. There is very little of them left at this point in time.
As she's looking around and notices Azrael come up, she calls out, "Ah, Azrael,
Yes.
what do you make of this? They have the red cloaks."
Like the other intruders.
Yes.
Looks like they were trying to steal the grain.
I am not so sure.
No?
The grain, it has, at least what was spilt over there, it has a pink substance.
Hmm.
After inspecting it, I believe it's, mild. I suppose you could call it a mild poison. It will induce headaches in those that consume it.
What are the not quick called?
The dead.
No. Well, the dead are immune to such poisons. Maybe it
Yes.
adds a flavor for them.
Or consider this is not a farm for Geb. This is a farm to produce food that our nation sells.
That is actually
Yes.
incorrect, Requiem. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, is
This being one of the closer farms to Great Ergagh is one of the farms that supplies food specifically for the city.
Okay, let me redo that then. I wasn't sure which. I thought I had it, but
Yeah.
I
A
have
lot
another
of
working
farms do
theory.
produce for export, but the closer ones like Old Ergagh's here produce for Great Ergagh specifically.
Okay,
But there
then
is
I'm
a
gonna-
small quick population in Great Ergagh.
Yeah,
Or is
I'm
it small
gonna-
or like a reasonable?
that's reasonable.
It's all the halflings outside of town.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna redo this with a different theory that I had.
Okay. Fantastic.
This green is seldom used for the undead. Some, but the living must eat too, no? So
Yes.
by poisoning the grain, it won't affect the undead, but it will affect the living.
Well, they're
Perhaps
slaves.
this is a sabotage attempt to poison those individuals.
Oh, you think they broke in here to poison the grain, not to steal
Geb's-
already poisoned grain?
Make Geb's produce less viable in the commercial market.
Well, I think that it is intended for the residences. So perhaps it's someone who has a vendetta against the living, or perhaps it is someone who has a vendetta against
Great Ergagh.
Bloodlord. This is her farm.
Yeah.
This food serves her people. So perhaps it is a political maneuver to drive a wedge between the people who are eating this in her city and herself.
Oh, perhaps we
Make her
should
lose
ask her
the-
when we get back. These are excellent theories. Also, I found more zombies down there, but they seem to be content in that cave. But maybe we should get someone to shut the door. Lock them in.
Drag, heading up north, yes?
Yes.
Sorry, just as you guys are having that conversation. I mean, stepping through this building right here, pretty low, made out of brick like everything else. North and south walls, of course, absolutely demolished. As you step through, you cast a quick glance around, and at first glance at least, you can see a dozen or so saddle-like contraptions of leather, each of them with numerous straps and buckles, all and kind of crushed and tangled in a heap amidst the rubble. As you approach north, looking at the figure impaled, relatively small corpse, dark gray cloak. At this point, you can see the hints of what looks like leather armor. Massive broken horn of Moskuta impaling them into the wall. And you can also see, like, much of the flesh on their legs has been gnawed away. Probably by some of the zombies, with like dried blood and gore having pooled beneath the sort of skeletonized, dangling feet.
Okay. Well, only one way to find out. Gonna go pull that hood back.
Yeah, definitely the size of a halfling as you approach. Pulling the hood back, red curly hair. Very much resembling Berlin's.
Yeah, looks like it.
Did she say to bring the body back?
I'm gonna try and unlaunch this horn.
Sure.
She didn't say specifically to bring the body back. She said it's fine, I guess. She seemed rather unconcerned if he was dead.
Well, the reanimators will see to him, I'm sure.
Athletics.
Please, in this can be public.
Time to fail. Or not.
Yeah. It takes you but a minute to just quickly work the horn out. Again, the wall isn't the sturdiest, so it opens a little hole in it. But the body does eventually come loose, falls to the ground. As it does so, you catch a glimpse of something red clutched in Brodek's hand.
What is this? I'm gonna reach for it.
Pulling it out of his hands, it looks to be like a torn red cloth. Pretty much caked with dirt, blood, and gore, though, at the moment. You can try and clean it if you want it.
Someone here has prestidigitation.
You'd think that.
Gonna grab halfling arm in one hand, grab the tip of the horn with the other, and just drag both back towards the group.
Sure.
I found him.
He is not with you?
I'm
I take
dragging a
he's not
halfling
with you.
with one hand and a horn in the other.
Oh, you're dragging him?
Mhm.
Ah, I see. He did not make it.
No.
Ah, well.
He was
He shall
clutching
still
this.
serve them. He shall still serve Ged.
He was
very
clutching this. I'm gonna hand this to Requiem.
And it's a scrap of red cloth, right?
Pretty heavily caked with, like, dirt and blood.
And does it look like the red cape that they have, the people at our feet have?
Pretty similar, definitely.
This might be part of another cloak. Perhaps he put up a fight before. Yeah, he didn't anymore.
Going to lean Musco's horn on one of the wagons.
Also, I will warn you as well that west of the gardens down here, there are more zombies in a cave.
Well,
That's good. The workforce is not totally diminished.
Yes,
Philip,
but the
have
door
you-
is open.
Perhaps we could move one of these carts. Block the entrance.
Maybe. Or we could go as a group and shut the door. Assuming there was still a door, it just wasn't shut, right?
Yeah, it was like a fence door, just made of wood, not necessarily super sturdy or anything.
like a waist-high fence? Like how?
Like a fence that fit the entire archway, pretty much.
I think moving the
Or,
cart would
no,
also
it
make
would have
it feel better.
been. You're actually right. It'd probably only be about a 3-foot tall fence or so.
But with the way mindless undead are, that's probably enough to keep them.
I like
It's
the
more
cart
than
type.
enough.
I was making sure it wasn't something that couldn't just topple over.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a grappling hook at it, pull it shut.
Smart. That's actually a really good idea. I like that plan.
You just want to drag a cart in front of it.
I thought we
I
were
mean,
gonna grapple hook the door.
Yeah, we're just gonna throw a grapple hook at the fence to get it to latch on and then just pull it shut.
Okay. It's easy enough to go down and do if you'd like.
Do climbing speeds allow you to stick to ceilings automatically? Or is it only like
No.
walls?
Just walls.
Okay.
Realistically, climbing and swimming rules always wig me out, but you do still technically have to make the roll to climb and swim. You just get to use your actual speed and you aren't off guard while performing those actions. It's very weird.
I don't think it doesn't require hands if you have the speed. Maybe.
You still typically need free hands to do it. Feats like Combat Climber allow you to climb while keeping a hand, like a weapon in hand.
Or like, I know, as a vampire, with my dedication, there's a feat at like level 8 or level 10 that just like gives me a magic, well, not a magic climb speed, but you're a
walk it.
vampire magical creature kind of climb speed.
Right. You
Nice.
can walk on the wall. Who cares? So, you guys have closed the fence to the interior of the large stone. Philip has been sort of fixing up the wall as he goes. Philip, are you going around like the entire outskirts of the wall and everything, like around the east and south wall too?
Yeah, I'm trying to get as much of the land as I can, make sure everything is secure.
Go ahead and give me a perception check, if you don't mind. Okay. As you are on the sort of southeastern section, right around where this building is, through some of the more gaps in the wall where it's less well put together, you can hear the groaning and grumbling of zombies within.
Which gap?
Just some of the small ones in the wall.
Okay,
Not even
so there
big
are,
enough to like reach an arm through, just through some of the small
but it's
spaces you can
telling
hear
me
it.
that there are zombies. You're telling me there are zombies in this silo.
Correct.
Okay. I'll go make sure that the silo door is secure.
Please move yourself in that direction. And I will need to know where everyone else is while you're doing that.
Would we be closing our door at the same time, or would we be back congregated in the middle?
Up to you guys. A little back here. Start.
He's
there-ish.
all the way down in the corner that we were. He's like taking time to fix things. We're probably grouped back up again.
Okay. to move yourselves, where you think you would be around this time.
Where would we go after this? We shut the fence. Do you come back here to look at more bodies, or we like want to go east down to the farm, like the little planters? Guys.
Hello?
Hi.
Sorry, what?
So we shut the fence, and then where do we go next? Where do you want to go? Like east. I was
We
going to do
check
like a
the
circuit.
buildings.
Yeah, I was doing like a circuit around. I was doing a clockwise circuit around the build. Yeah,
I mean, you already know where I am, so.
yeah. I think I'd be going this way.
Okay. I'd
Not
also
that
say whoever was doing the grappling hook to close the fence probably noticed a soft purple light from within the area as well.
That sounds like a clue for later.
Alright, you think this is about where you guys all would be when Philip gets to the door? Or is approaching the door?
Yeah.
Alright. Unfortunately, as you're approaching the door, Philip, you can hear, at this point, what sounds like banging on it. It seems zombies inside might be agitated of some sort and are pounding at the door.
Do I still have a? I think I still have a grappling hook on me. But I need to get up close to grappling hook the door shut.
Well, the door's shut at the moment.
Okay.
You just
Well,
hear
then-
the zombies on the other side pounding away at it.
What is it?
How does the door look? Does it look like it's about to break?
Give me a crafting check.
Blind.
No, it's gonna be public. Just taking a quick look at it. It's hard to tell.
I'll shout out for everyone else, like, hey, found some more zombies and they don't exactly seem happy.
Isn't that normal?
More upset than usual.
Scoot over.
You need to know where everyone is by the time Requiem gets to where she is now.
That's fully obscured.
Yeah, she's not like running like ahead of everybody else.
Right.
She's just a little
Right
ahead.
here.
She got
Oh, we
that-
do have peeking.
Yeah, and as you kind of step into those ruins, Azrael, you can see, this building's partially collapsed as well. The only thing in it is a massive leather and iron harness that's been trampled pretty heavily beyond recognition, but was probably like Moscuta's harness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Probably
this-
size for the cow.
Yeah, this was probably her stall.
I wonder what
She
Ryle's
busted out. It's making me feel better that there was probably no way to subdue her without killing her.
Mm-hmm.
I would allow. Maybe I should have specified this earlier. If you guys want to try and make non-lethal attacks, I will allow that against undead. Goes a little bit against rules, but essentially I'd say if you get an undead to 0 hit points with a non-lethal strike, they are essentially incapacitated enough that you could. They become combat enabled. That's not a real word.
Disabled.
Disabled.
Blew all
Thank
their limbs
you.
off.
So you can
Enabled
then...
is also a real word, by the way. Just
Yeah,
so you know.
but I was thinking enabled with an I at the beginning, and that's not a word.
You sure about it?
Certain.
How sure?
Inactionable.
And actionable is a good word, too. So I would allow you guys to essentially render undead immobile without fully destroying them if you would like to at any point. And I should have specified that earlier. That is on me. Now,
I will be taking you to civil court for that.
You cannot use non-lethal attacks with spells as a reminder unless it already has the non-lethal trait. But you can make non-lethal attacks with ranged weapons, hilariously enough.
Bullet.
Bullet. Around this time, I am going to need everyone to roll initiative as the door will burst open. And a few zombie shamblers that seem semi-agitated at the moment will start spilling out of the door. Okay. Philip, you're the first to react as the door bursts open, kind of falling off of its hinges a little bit. Definitely the weak point of it.
I'll take my energy shot.
Mhm.
Back up 25 feet.
Okay. Don't forget to use the energy shot to actually get the effect of it.
Yep. I'll take cold this round.
Sounds good.
And then I will sink a slug. Second action, I'll sink a slug into the zombie, non-lethal.
Sure.
So
Okay.
I take a what, -2 to hit?
-2 to hit, correct.
Okay.
That'll still
That
hit.
was supposed to have -2 on it. It
Even
doesn't.
with a -2, that'll still hit.
Alright, 14 hits. Let's go.
I really should get a non-lethal effect set up. Just give everyone
Alright.
access to it in all my games.
11 damage right at his
Points of damage. All right.
That's max. That's max damage for me.
That's pretty good.
And then thoughtful reload.
Okay. Go for it. Your recall knowledge roll, and what would you like to know?
Oh god. Resistances, I guess.
No resistances.
Alrighty. That'll be all for me.
Okay. That'll take us to some of the zombies' turns. Hilariously enough, the one right in front broke down the door, got shot, and isn't moving just yet. But this one right here is going to use all of its actions just shambling towards you, Philip. Another one inside is going to come out. What's going on? And shamble down towards you, Requiem. Azrael, you're up.
I'm leaning.
Curses. Not the leaning sound.
Divine Lance.
At
This guy.
that guy right there. They are going to have standard cover against you.
From.
You're behind a building, and Larry's in the way.
Larry,
Even if
that's
you're
not my name.
leaning, there's still cover there.
That's not my name, by the way.
I'm sorry, I was looking
How
at
about
the
this
token art.
You should feel bad about that.
No, I don't.
Divine Lance at this one.
You should feel really
Divine
bad
Lance
about
at
that.
that one. I will give no cover to. Nothing's
I wanna
going to be
imagine
shooting them then.
That's what your boss called you. Just never called you by your name.
Always called me Larry. Oh
That
god,
just
he
barely
just
hits.
he called me Larry Pokemon the entire
3
time.
damage, right? What even is a Pokemon? Who knows?
I don't know
Zuko
what the fuck
command
that is.
grab. Or I guess command
It's a
bite.
Pokemon.
Okay.
Blinking.
Yes, you do get flanking with Zuko. That'll hit. A nice solid 7 piercing damage to the Zombo. Alright.
Oh.
Drag, you're up.
You know, our friend had a pretty good idea.
Combat in this game is just summon undead, divine lance, gunshot.
Yep.
Gaming.
Sometimes
Gaming.
you just need the Glock.
Your
Name
weapon, I'm
one.
fairly certain, is not a Glock.
Name one situation that is not improved by an arquebus.
You'll have to give me a minute. That'll absolutely hit, Drag. Go ahead and roll damage. Diplomatic situations.
False. I threaten them with my gun.
You know what? If you want to go back and threaten the next Bloodlord you meet with your gun, be my guest.
I'll do it when I get tired of Philip.
I'm tired of
Think
living.
of a very
Threaten Bloodlord.
specific- I'm thinking of a very specific scenario in which Requiem could do that and not end up with a problem.
I'm going to hand Requiem my gun.
How many Bloodlords know what a gun is?
You guys are right next door to Alkenstar. The nobility
Yeah, but, like-
here absolutely knows what firearms are.
Okay.
You've got
After
a
all, they're
whole
so
city
effective at
that's
mowing
been
down
selling
undead.
them.
There are a bunch of immortals. How many of them actually pay attention to the outside world?
It's less about the outside world and more that there are places in Geb that have been importing firearms and making them.
Oh.
That's my turn.
All right. Didn't want to do anything with your last action?
No.
All right. Requiem,
You'll
you're
be
up.
shield.
Don't need to.
Famous last words of every caster.
Right? This is how you can tell he hasn't been in one of my games before.
Well, when the next zombie comes out, then I'll do it.
You fool, you're missing the one that'll be in the Cabbage Patch.
Yes, but maybe I'm trying to make myself bait to draw out the Cabbage Patch zombie.
Summoning another skeleton guard, alright.
No, not Numac.
I mean, after all, we wouldn't want poor Philip to get swarmed by that zombie and the Cabbage Patch zombie. He might die.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage. A solid 3 damage, but it does trigger weakness, and that's really what we care about here, isn't
It is.
it? Got 1 action left. That'll hit as well. Alright. That will be enough to bisect the zombie in front of you and cause
Nice.
it to come crumbling down to the ground. Alright. This Shambler right here, unfortunately, 1 action leaves it just out of range of anyone in the party. So it is going to then... I'm going to actually roll to see who it goes after here. It's coming down here. Specifically to here, I should say. Philip, we're back to you.
I would recommend a gun, but that's just me.
I think Philip stepped away for a minute, unfortunately. So, I believe he would gun as well. What do we think? Would he move before gun, or just gun?
Probably, it's, yeah, you get a penalty for being in melee, right?
No, you don't.
Do you not?
Nope.
The only times you get a penalty with a ranged weapon is if it has the volley trait and you're within the volley
Oh.
range.
Wow.
I feel like
He just cannot get he can't get flanking with a ranged weapon shot.
Yeah, just gone.
Okay. Because then if he misses, he can reload with recalculate and get the recalculate bonus on his
Yep.
next shot. Gun. Uh-oh.
Goodbye.
Uh-oh. Yikes.
he just fucking like kneels down with the gun and points it upwards, and the entire torso thing blows apart.
The top half of the zombie just explodes. I mean, Philip would reload then, and
Just gun again.
he can gun again. That zombie is going to have standard cover, but what's going to stop Philip? Not much, I can tell you that much. Alright, Philip, make gun. Philip misses with gun. What a tragedy.
Ah, the kickback.
Azrael, you're up.
Divine Lance.
At this
Probably with cover. Yeah.
Only lesser cover. That is still a crit.
Let's go.
A solid 6 spirit damage to him.
Zuka kill. No cover.
No cover. Zuka does not kill.
Hero point.
A very effective use of one. That is a hit. And that is enough damage. The zombie falls. Congratulations. I don't believe you guys have taken a single point of damage to your bodies aside from the shamblers at the front gate. This
No.
entire combat.
The falling off the roof did more damage in totality than every combat in this entire scene.
Fantastic. I believe just about every encounter aside from Mosguta has been low difficulty. They're zombies.
Yeah.
While Skelly Boy is still here, I'm gonna have him run inside this house.
It's an empty room.
Okay. Well, at least now we know it's empty.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will say, this isn't anything you guys would have any realistic way of knowing, aside from those of you that have worked at farms before, but it is a funny little tidbit of lore about these sort of barns that zombies occupy. There are a number of times that charge hands will command the zombies to pile atop one another within these spaces as efficiently as possible, sometimes competing to see who can command the most zombies to fit in one of these buildings at once.
That's funny.
That is a common thing charge hands do around these farms, and I felt people needed to know that.
What's the zombie equivalent of animal handling?
Command animal.
I
Like what skill do you roll?
I mean I don't think you can with undead, right? Like you need a special feat, and I think you actually use diplomacy.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. The specific job that people have is called corpse tenders. That command the undead specifically like this. You are a corpse stitcher, you put them back together when they fall apart.
Yes. I know corpse tenders, but I am not one.
Correct. Welcome back, Skeleton Guard, aka Philip. You killed another zombie while you were gone. With
You
another
crit that
crit.
shit up. Like
You know
you
what
blew
they
it
call
apart.
me? Tired.
Steven?
Call me tired.
I do think it'd be
Occasionally
very
call me
funny.
Larry.
I think I'm gonna have random NPCs just start calling you different semi-generic names when they can't be bothered to remember Philip. Because Philip is just the everyman.
When we get enough credit with the Bloodlord, when she likes us enough, I am going to ask her, pretty please, can I put a bullet in Calvax? Can I will make sure his phylactery is safe, and I will then shoot him dead.
We shall see if she allows that.
God, I hope she does.
The time passes, the zombie fades away. You guys are approaching a little after 1 p.m. at this point. Still got, I believe, realistically, you have not looked in here at all. No one's really taken a closer look at the vegetable garden. This building has not been explored at all.
I mean, we've been through the garden. We just haven't looked at it.
Yeah, no one's really taken a good look at this room. Like, Drag walked through it. You guys do still have that cloth. If anyone wanted to clean it at some point, see if it has anything interesting, you can. There is a big pile of lumber over here, though, for reparations as well.
We haven't
Oh,
been
that
inside this building, right?
Which one? Yes, that one has not been entered yet. That is the one building out in the open that does not appear to be damaged in any way, shape, or form, and the door is facing Moscuta's pen.
Requiem will point at it. we should inspect this building, no?
Should inspect all of the buildings.
And she will get to here and stop.
Okay.
I'm just waiting to see if anybody else is actually going to come and inspect
Right.
this building.
Someone's got to do something. I'm just waiting. How easy my job gets when people don't do anything. I just sit there. No windows or anything on this building, just one singular door. Looking into it as you open the door, kind of stride past around, it appears to be a tool shed. Numerous shelves and racks line the walls. There's farming and gardening implements. Like there's rakes, hoes, a wheelbarrow, bags of soil, buckets of nails, ropes, hammers, saws. All of it, at quick glance, appears to be in decent order.
It wouldn't unmute. It's good tools for repairing the fence and stuff.
Yeah. See, pretty much as far as you can imagine any tool you could think of needing when doing restoration around the farm, you could probably source from in here.
At this point, knowing there are not any more zombos, at least in there, Requiem is going to come down and start like inspecting through the garden.
Sure.
But she is very pointedly looking for anything that looks out of the ordinary in terms of like the soil around the plants or anything like that, or maybe like sprayed onto the leaves. She's basically looking to see if like that pink powder that was in the rain has also been spread over the plants.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give me a recall knowledge roll, if you don't mind.
I hit new macro.
Wahoo! You don't see that pink powder on anything. And in fact, you recognize almost everything that is in these planter boxes. The southern ones are plants that are pretty appropriate for Geb's climate. Chickpeas, cassava, sweet potatoes. The northern three planter boxes kind of catch your attention, though, as being a bit more unique. They're more suitable to wetter regions in the arid climate of Geb. There's sugarcane, rice, and beets growing in them. I'd say you're able to pretty easily, with your quick look over them, kind of gather and note which sections are successful, like what it would be close to harvest. If you wanted to tend and kind of bring these back up and make it more usable, you absolutely could do that with a bit of time.
Sure, why not? She'll do that as a novelty more than anything. This is her first time on a farm ever, after all.
Yeah. Okay, you can absolutely spend some time sort of fixing up, harvesting the plants that are good at this point and fully grown, sort of cut out what has gone bad. spend some time just cleaning up this little garden. About the rest of you guys.
I'm gonna head towards this cave thing.
Okay. The party has shut the fence.
Interesting. My foundry is broken.
Uh-oh. That is
Can't
broken.
pan the map. Refresh page.
Did you add a door here for the fence?
No.
Okay. Understandable.
You know what? I'll do one just for you.
Thank you.
There you go.
I
It
appreciate what you've
Doesn't
done.
even stretch all the way. You could walk right past it. I cannot be bothered.
So,
Like
Philip doesn't do anything like this in real life,
Okay.
but I'm gonna do donuts around the door.
You have fun with that.
So the way that conversation went, by the way, he's like, Jay is like, hey, can you do this? And you're like, no. And Jay's like, well, I've done all I can do.
Welcome to how I operate. I will say no to things when you ask me to do something and then do it anyways. That's
Oh
just
yeah,
me.
same.
So what's this purple light we found?
Purple light, you would have to probably go in to investigate. But it is, from what you can tell from here, a pretty consistent sort of violet glow.
I'll step in.
Okay.
Well, actually, before I do, being on this farm more and
Mhm.
recognizing more of the surroundings, can I attempt to recall knowledge to see if I remember what was initially stored in this cave here, and what the characteristics of this
Ooh.
cave were from the last time I visited this farm?
Sure, absolutely.
My
Let me give you a
sleep-addled
recall
mind
knowledge
is
roll.
sleep-addled mind is going hard.
Your sleep-addled mind. My goodness, Philip. You got to sleep for the first time yesterday, and you are still riding that high.
Philip
It's
did.
like
Destiny
1
did
p.m.
not.
Did I say Destiny? I'm so sorry. I meant
No,
Philip.
you said Philip. You meant Philip. I'm just saying. I
Well,
am
okay then. Don't throw me off
dying.
like that.
I'm just letting everyone know that I am dying personally.
We will not send help.
Philip's riding that high. Philip is, unfortunately, looking forward to the fact that it is 1 p.m., and as far as you can tell, you're going to be able to go to bed at a decent hour tonight, too. Unfortunately, in that sort of giddy high, you don't remember what's in this cave. The last time you were here, you
I'll
didn't
be back in a
enter
moment.
this cave.
It's okay with me. I see that bed and I'm transported to a better world.
He has, like, my door just causing a nuisance shadow right in the center of the space.
It's okay.
Hey, you asked for the door, leave it shut. Get rid of the door now.
None may pass.
Oi! No. You do still hear zombie noises from inside.
You said it's like a 3-foot height. Well, can we like see any of the zombies from here?
From there, no.
Interesting.
I'd say you can hear it coming from around this corner, though.
Okay. What's my stealth proficiency? Bad. Okay. Anyone better than a +2
On the what?
stealth? Anyone trained in stealth?
I'll make a stealth check.
So if you like hug the bottom wall and go down to the magic.
Okay. Begin moving yourself as you see fit.
Just letting you know now, my gun is loaded. As it always is.
Okay. As you sort of approach a little bit closer, you can see a couple different things. One, to the south, thick straw mattress with a few woolen blankets. with a sconce on the wall that appears to have a glowing purple gem in it that is creating this light. Passage continues to the west. To the north, you can see several large crates sort of stacked up, closing off another passageway with 2 zombie shamblers and a hound currently kind of scratching at it. Just slowly and pretty futilely looking, attempting to push through the barrier.
Do they seem to notice me?
At the moment, they do not.
And standing at the precipice of whatever this fucking light is.
Would you like to go into the light, Philip?
You know, Jericho, I've thought about walking into the light several times. But not this light. I've definitely thought about going into a better light. I will take a step into the light.
Okay. Roll me a fortitude save.
No, I don't want to.
You don't have to. I'm just messing with you.
You don't have to. You can just autofill.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just autofill.
No, there's no effect.
Oh
Philip just
no! I died.
Philip's-
I just
Philip's
wanted to give that
meat just
half instant
melts.
of panic.
Philip's
See-
meat just melts off him and he becomes a skeleton.
Can we not
See-
talk about meat melting?
The issue with that, Jericho, is I, Destiny, am not physically aware enough to process anything right now.
I know.
You
kinda
said
ruined
that
the
and I
fun.
went, okay.
Which also feels very in character for Philip.
Mm-hmm. It's very in character. He's excited to clock out.
When your fantasy character's doing better than you are.
I'd say
Isn't that why we play fantasy?
they sound pretty on par at the moment to me?
No, my fantasy character's definitely doing better than I am.
Come on, one of them slept.
One of them had more than one square meal.
What do you do?
I'll walk towards the light.
Okay. Yeah, it simply appears to be a sort of glowing violet gem. Drag, I would like you to roll a stealth check as well if you're trying to approach stealthily. If you're just approaching normally, I'm going to need a different sort of roll.
And mine be
It's like
stealth regardless.
It's like I see why. Yeah, I was just gonna sit up here against the wall. With a stealth, so whenever I find the damn thing,
Blind, please.
blind. Really wish that would just default.
I wonder what you rolled.
I clicked
think Drag-
blind.
I think Drag rolled a 1, and so should get that hero point back.
Nope.
How do you know? You can't see it.
Believe it or not,
I don't.
can.
Black magic. Burn the
Dear
witch.
God, he's
Burn
cheating.
the witch.
Might be shocking news to you, but I
Burn
can
the
in
witch.
fact see your dice rolls.
Burn the witch.
You cannot hide things from me. Philip, as you are approaching the glowing purple gem in the sconce, you hear scrabbling in the rocks back closer to the entrance. The ones you were very careful to avoid on the floor. The very obvious sound of someone's foot nudging them and moving a couple of them catches not just your attention, but the attention of the zombies up top as well. And they are going to turn and look. At this point, there isn't really a place for you to hide either, so they're going to see you. I am going to need initiative to be rolled for people. For Drag and Philip specifically, I'd like you to roll initiative using stealth.
Thank fuck.
Everyone else can roll using perception.
+7, baby. God damn it. Really? Do I get a hero point for that?
Yeah, if it was a 1+ modifier, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hilariously,
Well, it's an 8.
both of my shamblers rolled a 1.
Oh my god.
And the hound rolled a 3. Gaming! Azrael, you are the first to react. Hearing Drag kind of scatter some rocks on the ground, you've been on enough farms and in this sort of situation once or twice before to recognize that the zombies would have likely heard that sound as well and will react to it.
Delay.
Delay? Alright. Drag,
Like
that takes-
delay initiative 0. Christ, they all rolled so bad.
You want to delay way to the bottom?
You know what? I'll just skip. No, I won't do that.
Okay, remember,
I'm
when
gonna-
you delay, you can choose at the end of every turn if you want to come back in. You don't have to specify when you're delaying to.
We're gonna straight up here and pass.
Okay, sounds good. Drag, that'll take us to you now.
I have a question about focus spells.
Okay, I have an answer.
Is this
about
like
focus
it's
spells.
is it like its own spell slot, or
Yes.
does this
It
have
is.
a spell?
You use your focus pool, which is a maximum of 3 that you can get throughout the game. Refocusing gives you points back and only takes 10 minutes to do. So you
It's like a
refocus
pack slot.
10 minutes to get a point back. And you'll have a number of points up to a maximum of 3 equal to the number of spells you know. So for now you have 1 focus point. When you learn another focus spell later down the line, if you do, that'll make you have 2 in your pool.
Well, we fucked up. Let's go to a frenzy.
Alright. Growing
his
some
reason?
claws. Give yourself that effect.
There it
Drag
is.
it from chat to your token. There you go.
And we're gonna. I'm just gonna dive in.
Alright, rush toward them.
Is it a bad idea? Yes. Am I doing it? Yes.
Hey, I appreciate you wanting to give me the opportunity to actually deal damage to someone here.
That's
Please do
nice.
not forget to target in the future. But a
Yep,
13
yep.
absolutely hits. Roll damage. Alright. 2 slashing, 3 spirit damage as you carve away, not just at the zombie, but the energy holding it together. And carve pretty heavily at its physical body as well. Now that at this point you all would be pretty easily aware that slashing damage will have a greater impact on zombies.
That would be my turn.
Requiem, it is up to you now as you're kind of finishing up tending to the gardens.
Hearing what sounds like everything going on, she lets out a sigh and says, "These people," and we'll start moving.
This is why you don't let a book person do the stealth.
This is why I did the stealth.
Philip, you need to get yourself some silencers in the future.
I need to silence my companions, yes.
Alright, so Philip, we're to you now.
Ugh.
Grab the glowing crystal.
Sounds like a bad idea.
When do I ever recommend bad ideas?
All the time.
Constantly.
Always.
Okay. Energy bullet.
Mhm.
I'll pick slashing.
Gave a good effect too in animation. Nice.
I'll pick slashing as my bullet. Haha, I'm very funny.
Very funny.
Did you suggest one of us hug the bull?
I walk over here.
Did I?
Yeah.
No. Well, that checks out.
Walking over there, and I am blowing a head off.
Alright, engaging
Oh.
the bull physically is foolish and to be encouraged. Goodbye, zombie.
Alright, someone say a prayer for the zombie.
I think that's illegal.
The zombie is dead.
Yoink. Goodbye.
And then I will conjure a bullet.
Sounds good.
I think this is technically destruction of property.
Is this my third crit in the session?
Keep in mind, Conjure Bullet only works if
On the
bullet
same
fire
round.
that turn. Yeah. You don't feel like rolling recall knowledge. You can just roll. You can just do a regular reload.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reload a gun.
Okay. We're at the zombie hound's turn. Guess what, guys? I get to potentially make an attack against a player character.
Oh my god.
Boy,
The zombie's
I'm
gonna
proud of
run
you,
forward and
Jericho.
make a Jaws attack. Watch it roll a 2.
Jericho, I'm so proud of you.
I rolled greater than a 2.
No, you're rolling against me. It's guaranteed to hit. Come on.
Oh, I deal 4 damage.
Yay!
Woo!
Good
Woo!
job, Jericho. We'll get a cake for you. How about that?
4 damage.
We'll buy you a cake.
The zombie
Now imagine
shambler
you had the skeleton feet that made you resistant to piercing.
will get flanking.
Did that at like 9.
Oh god, he's off guard.
Yeah, you're
Oh my
off guard to
gosh.
this loser. And they're gonna punch you. Oh, there's the miss. There's the 4. I knew it was coming somewhere. Alright, Azrael, you're up. As you watch your friend get bit.
Can you tell me how the reposition action works?
It is similar to Shove in that you make an athletics check versus their DC. I believe it's Fortitude. And if you succeed, you can move them anywhere. You can move them up to 5 feet as long as they stay within your melee reach. If you crit succeed, you can move them up to 10 feet as long as they stay within your melee reach.
Can you willingly fail a save?
I say yes.
I think there is a rule for that specifically that says yes.
I think it'd be silly for someone to... like, you have to attempt a save. You can't choose to not resist something. I think that's silly.
I'm gonna push my... no, not yet. I'm
You
going
also
to...
have to have at least one hand free, or be grabbing or restraining the target, and the target cannot be more than one size larger than you, similar to shove requirements.
I'm going to shove my snake.
Okay.
And then I'm going to command her to move and attack.
Gotcha.
The flanking conga line of death.
Classic Pathfinder maneuvers right there. That will not hit.
Speaking of classic Pathfinder maneuvers.
Right? Are we seeing a hero point in classic action here too?
I
We'll be
might as
ending
well.
the session after this combat.
Yeah, like it's my last one. I might as well.
And that'll...
Hey,
change it
Zuka! The hero!
That's a solid 10 points of piercing damage to the zombie. Alright, you've got one action left, Azrael.
I do have an action left.
Imagine that.
That's kind of weird.
And funky.
Cast shield.
Okay. Drag, that'll take us to you. You are surrounded.
Ah, yes. Many targets.
No shield. Step.
How about we start by hitting?
Alright. That's a crit.
Nice.
Goodbye, zombie. It was nice running you. You were useless. Oh, that's a lot of
Oh
damage.
my god.
Yikes.
You're next, little hound!
Oh, it's
Hold on.
agile, I think. Oh, it's not agile, actually. What's that?
Ooh, just finesse. That will not hit, I'm afraid.
No modifier.
Hero point. Try.
Do it. I believe in you. You can do it.
I believe.
You just got to roll a 14.
How about a nat 20?
Oh my god!
Hey.
Yeah, I think that does it.
Based hero point. Based hero point.
Yeah, that's a dead dog too.
Sure,
All
that's
right.
That was 2 points in one hit.
Well done.
And I'm munching on a ribcage now. I'm gonna look at the party like, what? I was hungry!
I'm just gonna look at Dry.
Casually gnawing on a rib.
And
Okay.
as the last zombies fall to the ground. Azrael, you get to heal 6 hit points as Azrael stares your bones back to perfection. And at least as far as you can tell, most of the loose zombies on Old Ergagh's farm have been taken care of, and there's little left to explore, only really likely the fixing to do of certain areas. That is where we're going to end the session for tonight. Thank you all so much for playing. Thank you all for showing up. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next week.
All right.
Have a good
Fun
one.
as always.
Good session.
Oh, I